In this comment from one of my followers, he says, I have a question. How would you describe your love for Vietnam? And my answer is, I don't know. Because, like all true love which percolates from the soul, you can't describe it. But I think it has something to do with the kindness and generosity and helpfulness of people here. Like the times that I've been lost, and I'm looking at my phone, and some young man comes up to me and he says, do you need help? And he walks me all the way to the school that I was looking for. And this has happened to me several times. Or perhaps it has something to do with the times that I'm walking down the street and I see a family, a whole family having dinner. I say hello, and they invite you to eat and drink with them. Perhaps it has something to do with how hard women work here. Like the lady I see at Home Kim Lake who is very old, and she's bent over, she can hardly walk. And she comes with a little sack of water, which she sells for $10,000. I know that lady doesn't live in that neighborhood. She must come in the bus from far away to walk and in slowly bent over selling that water. Or perhaps it has something to do with reading Vietnamese history to learn of the incredible suffering and pain from the French and the Americans. Like when I discovered that 5 million tons of bombs were dropped on this small country, more than all were dropped in World War II. The suffering and the pain, and yet these people don't hate anybody. They don't even hate the French and the Americans. Perhaps my love for Vietnam has something to do with the fact that it is such a safe and secure society. I at Home Kim Lake, where you see children by themselves, that the parents leave them there so that they can practice English with the foreigners, with no concern for their safety. You would not see this in any city in the West. Perhaps it has something to do with the fact that on 3 separate occasions, Vietnamese people that I was speaking with about their country have said to me, we help each other. That surprised me. Perhaps it has something to do with the smiles, the genuine, free, kind smiles of people. I remember one time I stopped to watch a construction site, and there was a man there working with this heavy machine, this digging machine, and he was tired and sweaty. And I looked at him for a while, and then I said to him, Xin Chao. He looked up, stopped what he was doing, gave me a big, natural, genuine smile, and then went back to work. Or perhaps it has something to do with the femininity and elegance of the women here. Which is the center of the power of womanhood. In the West, especially in America, women want to become men. Or perhaps it has something to do with the ancestor worship. I remember one time my friend, when his wife had just had a baby, and they came up with an idea for the name, and he says, I called my father in my village to ask him if the name we had picked did not conflict with the name or the desires of any of the ancestors. I thought, my God, that is amazingly powerful and beautiful. Or perhaps it has something to do with the egg coffee and the salted coffee. I mean, these are two fantastic inventions. How did they come up with the idea for these two coffees? They're amazing and delicious and so innovative and so much tell the story of this beautiful land. Or perhaps it has something to do with the business spirit. I remember here in my neighborhood, there was a lady who, in this tiny little space, she created a little clothing store. And she tried that for a while, and when it didn't work, she converted it into a coffee bar with food. And she sits there patiently and smiles at people when they go by. The, the incredible self-reliance, the courage, the hard work, the patience. There it is, the patience that people have here. As I have said before, I have lived in several cities in America. I lived in several cities in Europe. I was there for 22 years. But I have never seen a society, country of people like the people in this beautiful country.